Hello everyone, we've arrived at the Szekszárd Wine District, in which we'll visit 3 wineries so that we can learn a bit more about the conditions, past, present and future of this wine district, and all about the things we can find here during our visit. Thank you for welcoming us and showing us the unique qualities of the Szekszárd Wine District. I'm really curious about what makes this wine district really unique. Why do you like making wines here? I'm honored by your visit, so let me greet and welcome you here. This question is hard for me to answer since this wine district, thanks to its characteristics, is full of possibilities. The Szekszárd Wine District is highly diversified, with many small slopes and interchanging hills and valleys, each having its own microclimate, which provides lots of opportunities for winemakers. A smaller part of the wine district includes white wines, such as Ersai Oliver, Chardonnay, Cserszegi Főzeres, Olasz Riesling and Király Leánka. There is Kadaka here, which is one of the major blue grape varieties grown on one of the smallest areas. The majority consists of Kék Frankos, then Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon and Syrah. In addition, some producers have also smaller plantations of Malbec, for example. Another reason why I'm saying that it's hard to pick one variety or one brand is that there are cooler slopes where the conditions are very favorable for white grapes and, of course, Pinot Noir. And there are other slopes where full-bodied, dense, robust wines are made, just like in Belém. That said, if we want to be a bit more specific, the key word to Szekszárd is elegance, in case of full-bodied wines as well as lighter and fruitier ones. The wines made in Szekszárd have very elegant, beautiful and clear flavors. If we go into the details about soil conditions, Szekszárd is characterized mainly by a loess bedrock and the thickness of the limestone layers remaining from the sediment of the Pannonian Sea, as well as of the red clay layers rich in iron oxide, is of definitive importance from many aspects. I can't help but wonder if Bikáver was first made in Eger or in Szekszárd. The first written record refers to Szekszárd, so the ball is currently in our court. But we never make a prestige war out of that, since we're happy that Eger has Bikáver as well. It's beyond dispute that one of the most important grape varieties of Szekszárd is Kadaka, and so, to say, there are lots of legends about it, so let's taste one. Can we say that this is Kadaka in the way that you see this variety? Exactly. Awesome. So we are talking about a light wine with a pale color intensity. Otherwise, it has a fragrance a bit more intensive than medium, an explosive fruitiness with a taste of sour cherry and a very light hint of blackberries. I think it's very important where Kadaka is planted. What you've said is absolutely correct, but in Szekszárd there is a Kadaka cloning experiment going on too. The wine you are tasting is a B9 Kadaka. As for me, this is the wine in which I found the things I like about Kadaka. Very good. It screams for paprika chicken. By the way, you are tasting a Kadaka from the vintage year 2020, which is being aged in an older barrel for about 6 months and then it will be bottled. And now let's taste the variety that feels so close to you and me as well. I'm definitely happy that we're talking about a white variety, namely Riesling. Let's taste it. I'm so curious about it. This is not the main variety of the wine district, but maybe one of the reasons why I'm a bit proud of this variety is that I've shown it to quite a few colleagues, and many of them were inspired to make this type of wine. I'd rather let you form an opinion. I dare say that conscious grape production can preserve the acids in a warm wine district as well, which adds up to a concentrated, full-bodied but not too heavy wine, which is clearly a material that can be widely used in gastronomy and also consumed as a drink. This wine immediately makes me think of trout baked in salt crust. I think we have an excellent wine in our glasses. It's light, with some citric character, and has the usual dynamic of Riesling. Indeed, it's a different character compared to the usual one along the Rhine or the one expected from a German Riesling. But hey, this is Szekszárd, so welcome to the Riesling. Cheers and thank you. Cheers and thanks a lot. I'm going to interview Zoltán Hyman Sr. and Zoltán Hyman Jr. in this very imposing cellar and really authentic environment. Hello, how is the generation change going? Well, if I can start, it's loud. It comes with many, so to say, trade-offs. Now we are experiencing a catharsis, as the crisis itself has shown that we are more powerful together than separately. So I think it's working out quite well, although with lots of fighting. My tasks here include Kadarka and Kék Frankos. We have also established a business goal. We want to export more than before. We want to do 1/3 of our distribution activity abroad. Does it help to put the wines prepared in Szekszárd, the Szekszárd wine, into international context, if I can put it that way? I think we do a lot of things in Szekszárd, and a part of that is completely relevant to the domestic market, but irrelevant abroad. And I learned from abroad what foreign customers could find interesting about Szekszárd. I believe that's Kadarka and Kék Frankos. I can see that Szekszárd is a very progressive wine district, showing an exemplary behavior in terms of cooperation, and able to renew itself again and again, allowing easy-to-consume, fruitier wines to gain ground. Do you feel the same? I think that's definitely true. There are several factors at play. There are market trends and styles. Trends and styles change. You watch the developments in other wine districts and you see what makes a wine district exciting. Now we think that in the middle, and at the intersection of this mixture, there is a place for exactly these fruity wines, easy to drink, nicely structured and at the same time exciting wines. And this fruity, nice structured character is a value of this land which helps us move forward. By the way, do you experience any advantages or disadvantages of global warming? I think the great winner of global warming is our Kék Frankos, which can provide a considerable material, also very suitable for blending, but the variety works well in and of itself too. Kék Frankos or Kadarka? My absolute favourite is Kadarka. It's a very drinkable and lovely wine which suits certain dishes very nicely. By the way, I'm glad you've mentioned this. As I see, we pay less attention to the changes of culinary demands than to the changes of winemaking technology. However, these two can only make sense if they develop in parallel, completing each other. And we have a very modern wine in our glasses which reflects the wine taste of the world. So what is this? It's a Szekszárd Kadarka. This is our entry-level base wine of the wine district, which is a key position for us, so we make lots of it. This is definitely our most important export wine. Is the whole area organically farmed? No. We have started to quit fertilizers and weed killers consciously quite a few years ago, but as for now, half of our production area is registered as being in transition, and the complete area is expected to make the transition to organic farming within about 5 years. I have a really special Kék Frankos in my glass. Would you please tell us about how it's been prepared? What makes it different from the entry level, if I can put it this way? Primarily, the recognition that we don't really want to treat wines differently in terms of technology and winemaking approach. So a €10 wine works in the same way as a €30 wine. the difference being in the grape material. This wine is a picking from 50-year-old vines. We want the freshness of fruit, which in my opinion makes Cake Frankos as a variety really sexy, this very strong and pronounced fruity character to be preserved in the bottles. Thank you very much. This is a fantastic experience. A very concentrated fragrance with lots of black and red berries and a long aftertaste. Very nicely integrated tannin, a totally non-sticky tannin structure. A beautiful wine. Thank you. As my father likes to say, we have a red wine that makes a man covet even his own wife. Amen. Cheers. Cheers.
Vörös vagy fehér?
Red or white? In all honesty, both. It's a hard question. By the way, Szekszárd is powerful at rosé wines too, from a certain point of view, and that's awesome. But why do you like making wines here? What makes Szekszárd special for you? I guess everyone knows about its geography. We could also talk about its conditions. Still, its greatest speciality is that it's totally heterogeneous. There is a very good initiative that I find really impressive. It's the Szekszárd bottle, a unique bottle of the wine district. Would you please tell us about that? Of course, the use of the Szekszárd bottle is key to Szekszárd wines. Szekszárd bottles can be used for three kinds of wine, primarily in the case of Kadarka, Bikaver, and Cake Frankos. Szekszárd winemakers perform a strict assessment on each wine before allowing it to use the Szekszárd bottle. And last but not least, it's easy to recognize on the shelves, as the word Szekszárd is embossed on it. Absolutely. It's a burgundy-type bottle with an embossed Szekszárd inscription, which comes in screw cap as well as traditional bottle mouth versions. Nowadays, very high-quality Bikaver wines are bottled in Szekszárd. It wasn't always so, but we happen to have one at hand, so let's just taste it. So this is actually a Bordeaux blend with Cake Frankos and Kadarka. Cake Frankos Kadarka blend with Bordeaux varieties. I strongly believe in Cake Frankos. I love Cake Frankos. I think this is the best variety ever which you can work with. It's a constant source of pleasure in grape production as well as in winemaking. This is a very clear, very fruity, elegant, balanced wine, in which the alcohol doesn't feel out of place. Still, the draft is accompanied by a very nice soft tannin with a long aftertaste. Is this typical to the vintage year, or do you aim at this? We absolutely aim at this. Luckily, the vintage year of this wine was also excellent, but we also strive for this. For aging, we always prefer used barrels of larger size. When it comes to blending, as we've already mentioned, besides the world varieties, the characteristics of Cake Frankos and Kadarka provide for this nicely rounded and light quality. And the spicy flavour, and what we consider the special character of Szekszárd wines, is preserved by aging for 1 year in used barrels. Do you prefer blending or purely grown varieties? Since our portfolio is comprehensive enough, it's made up from about 50% blends and 50% varietal wines. And how about the ratio of Hungarian and international varieties? Our winery is still dominated by international varieties. And since you've mentioned premium, we will taste a Merlot after the Bikaver? Exactly. Awesome, I'm so curious. This glass of wine yields very complex, if you like, tertiary aromas, which are typical of mature, large red wines. In the really good and warm vintage years, Merlot can reach a considerable state of maturity, especially on key areas. This one from 2013, but it's still very enjoyable. It has some form of freshness. Its tannin structure is hard and rounded, so I'm sure it still has potential for aging. Complexity, elegance and strength. That's why it's really worth waiting with a good wine, since a good wine can become excellent with time. Of course, we shouldn't forget that it's an item from 2013 which should be aerated. The decanter is the most suitable tool for that. One might want to decant this wine. In any event, enjoy this good Szekszárd Merlot. Thank you very much. There is one thing left, to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. We've been the guests of Szekszárd. Have some Cake Frankos, have some Kadarka, discover this wine district, and join us next time.